It's looking like this could finally be the end for Type Soul. It's no secret that Type Soul has been on a crazy decline, and you could probably name a million reasons for why this is. But the thing that many people are saying is finally gonna kill off Type Soul is releasing very soon. So let's look at this whole Type Soul situation and see if this new game will actually kill off Type Soul. I stream on Twitch daily.
God did.
So the proclaimed Type Soul killer is known as Peroxide, and it's a new Bleach game that will be releasing on the 18th of August, and I understand why people are saying it will kill Type Soul. And to put it shortly, it's because a lot of the weaknesses of Type Soul are the strengths of Peroxide. For example, graphically, Peroxide has way better graphics than Type Soul, and you know Roblox players love graphics, and we consistently see games with good graphics perform very well. An example of this would be Project Mugetsu. It lacked a ton of content, lacked a ton of gameplay features that generally players want, but it made up for it in its graphics, and the player count showed that. Now, in my opinion, Project Mugetsu has better graphics than Peroxide, but Peroxide probably beats Project Mugetsu out in every single other category. But something that Project Mugetsu and Peroxide share, which Type Soul doesn't, is the fact that they're both on mobile. And some people don't understand how big your game being on mobile is. Like, I've seen devs straight up ignore mobile like it doesn't account for half of Roblox. But adding mobile to your game doesn't just affect mobile players, it also affects PC players. Because a lot of people that play on PC have friends that play on mobile. But not even just that, the pure player count boost is gonna make PC players more inclined to play your game. For example, you as a PC player, yes, I'm talking to you. If you see one game has 5,000 players and one game has 50,000 players, you're definitely more inclined to check out the game with more players. And I'm not even going to get into the fact that more players equals more money, equals more updates, equals more players again. Now I want to talk about the reason Type Soul will most likely never fully die. Although it is looking like Peroxide will most likely smoke it in almost every aspect, there's one that's going to keep Type Soul around, and that's the combat. Type Soul has really good combat, and I think most people would agree with that. And it will keep the core base of the game coming back. And combat obviously matters a lot, and it's the reason that so far in my Peroxide experience, I still prefer Type Soul over it. But with that being said, I don't believe Type Soul will be a better game in overall totality for your average player. With that being said, Peroxide is not a perfect game either, and I have a lot of issues in my opinion with it, which I'll make a full video going over later. And something I can't forget to bring up is PvE, because a lot of players prefer PvE and don't really care about PvP. And although I haven't yet experienced all of the things about Peroxide's PvE, I'll definitely tell you, even with what I've experienced so far, it's definitely more than Type Soul. But I've been told in the future there's bosses and raid bosses, and there's a lot more PvE things to do than Type Soul. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this, but it's not hard to be better than Type Soul at PvE, so you definitely got to give the edge to Peroxide there. Now I want to talk about something which is actually a really big deal when it comes to these two specific games, which is pay to win. And I'm gonna keep it real, the pay to win is definitely there in both games. But here's another thing that's very difficult to get worse than Type Soul at. Obviously, Type Soul has improved its pay to win significantly, but before it was arguably the worst pay to win of all time. 800 Robux for a 99% chance of getting nothing is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And not only that, they were literally scamming. So let's compare that to Peroxide. I believe it's about 100 Robux per spin. And they also give codes that are so much better than the Type Soul codes. They don't give you a code for one specific thing like Type Soul does. They give you a code that lets you spend it on any dev product you want. So if you want Shrift rerolls, you could get it. If you want Clan rerolls, you could get it. If you want to get a different skin or color, you could get it. Now, it definitely is a possibility that they end up upping the price or lowering the odds for the actual release of the game. And they also have been extra nice with the codes. They literally gave us a 50 dev product code, meaning you could spend 50 times. But I do really hope they keep this same mentality with the actual release of the game, since I definitely think it will help a lot of players that just don't have the money to spend like that. But regardless of what they decide to do, I'd be shocked if it was somehow worse than Type Soul, prime Type Soul pay to win. Now, some of you guys might have noticed I didn't bring up content yet, and there's a reason for that. I haven't played through enough of the content to really make a stance on how much content Peroxide has, but I have heard from people that have played both, it's a lot more than Type Soul. Now, like I said, that's not from me, so I'm not exactly sure how true that is. But regardless, when Type Soul only has one singular advantage over Peroxide, it's very hard for me to see a world where most players are picking Type Soul. But combat is also so important at the same time that I don't think Type Soul will ever fully die because of how good their combat is. Overall, I'm really curious to see what game you guys are going to be playing, because Peroxide still definitely has its problems. For example, my early game progression has been very slow, but I'll get into that in a separate Peroxide video. I'm also streaming Peroxide every day on Twitch, and I'm gonna try to get a tester spot to see if I could give it away to y'all on Twitch. If y'all are interested in that, make sure to check out the link in the description, you feel me? But either way, if y'all enjoy my content, make sure to like and subscribe as it boosts the algorithm, you feel me? I get bigger and bigger like my GOAT DJ Khaled. Thank y'all, love y'all, later.
Life. There's Roblox.